My name is Olfat Mahmoud. I am a director of a women organization called Humanitarian Organization. I was brought up in a refugee camp in Beirut, Burj Al Barajneh camp. I'm very proud being a girl, woman. I'm very proud being Palestinian. I'm very proud also of my the whole situation, even my name, for this reason, I feel everything around me is positive and always like to see positive side and not to focus on any negative aspect. It's not easy to be brought up in a refugee camp. I was born in 1960. So 12 years after my parents and my grandparents became refugees. Still, I'm stateless. I have refugee papers. Even my children, they're born as refugees. Sometimes we think like, it's not really logic. And especially nowadays, everything is related to logic. And so how come people born as refugees? And if you look at this word, if you look up at this word from the dictionary, it means someone who flee from one country to another country. But for Palestinians, this is not the case. It doesn't even have the same meaning because we're born as refugees.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said you were proud that you're Palestinian.
Yeah.
Why are you proud that you're Palestinian? I mean, that's my question.
Yeah, actually, maybe because I feel like I have something special. Like I have a cause. It's my life is not just eating, working, having fun, whatever. I feel like, I have something special in my life to look at. And also this cause makes me really feel more stronger, understand more what's happening, what's going on. Some terms became clearer for me, like when people talk about justice, when people talk about human rights, about democracy, all of these terms. For Palestinian people, I think it means a lot. These words mean a lot. For this reason, yeah.
Okay, and I know that you're head of an NGO.
Yeah.
So you told me this story before, but can you tell it me
Yes.
how you started?
How we, yeah.
And also, I had another question that you haven't responded yet.
Yeah.
The problems that you face with political
Yes.
parties.
You want to record this?
I mean, if you don't,
It's a sensitive issue.
I
will.
delete that. I mean, you cannot talk about it.
Yeah. No, I can mention a little bit, but if you want
Yeah.
details, like we can talk.
Fair enough.
How we started the Women's Humanitarian Organization. Actually, I'm one of the founders with a group of other active women. Talking about myself, I was a nurse. And all my experience was through war in Lebanon, civil war and other wars. Then I get a chance to go to London and study there to be clinical instructor. Then I went to Australia and became a community nurse. After that, I loved working within the community. But in Lebanon, there is nothing such a career like a community nurse. So I started to work with NGOs, working mostly on health education programs. Something attracted my attention. Most of the time when we address women, we address them as caregivers only, as if they have no needs for themselves. For this reason, I thought like, we should have a women organization, so to think about women's issues in particular. For this reason, we started to think about that. Secondly, I must admit our community is still very conservative community, so it's easier for women to visit, to attend workshops, to participate in activities if it's a woman environment. The third reason, we want something independent, like no affiliation with any political party or any religious group or anything like that. Just respect people because they are human beings and they have needs. You work with them to meet these needs. For this reason, we wanted to establish something like that and to prove to the community that we are women, we are capable to do things without any affiliation. And this is how we started. We started in 1993. Of course, at the beginning, until now actually, we still face lots of problems. It's sort of like ups and downs. Sometimes really, really very hard situation. Sometimes it's okay, we survive. It's not easy to, they consider it as challenging. Like we challenge the community, like who you are to start something. You are just woman, and this is one thing. And the other thing, from where you will bring the power. As if it's only you get the power from political party or religious group or. So for this reason, it was not an easy thing to do. Many problems we faced at the beginning and now, especially when you address women's issue. And they consider this as taboo in our community. Actually, not from the local community, because ordinary people really, they understand the situation, they talk about it. Al Barajneh, yeah. Actually, the problem comes from people on the top line, like if you like. It's like as if they don't want us to work with our people to make any development, you know, any progress, any. So I think this is the only problem. Otherwise, the local community never. We never had any problem from the people themselves.
And I have a question. Are you the only independent NGO here, or are there other ones too?
I'll tell you, there are some who are friends to OR, but most of them, they have men as leaders, you know, and this gives them power also.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, most like NGOs run by men, and maybe few NGOs who have no affiliation with anyone, but maybe they are led by men, so they have, so this is sort of like a protection also. Gender issue.
You can answer it.
This is Soha. Hello.
And how many employees here do you have?
You know, our work is based on projects work. So it depends on the project. Sometimes we have, but roughly around 60 staff we have. Not just in Burj Al Barajneh camp, Burj Al Barajneh, Shatila, small camp called Mar Elias, it's only very, very small camp, and the south of Lebanon.
Okay, I have two questions. One is that the Burj Al Barajneh, what facilities it has as general, and also your NGO, what it provides for all refugees.
What facilities do we have? You know, I'll go back a little bit to the.
Talk about situation of life. And
I'll tell you, I'll go back a little bit backward. After 48 catastrophe, people became refugees. They came to Lebanon or Syria or neighborhood countries. Some of them, they brought some money with them. They thought that they are here only for a short period. And they ended up refugees, and now 60 years. So the United Nations started a big organization called UNRWA, United Nations Relief and Work Agency for Palestinians. So they started to register people as refugees, and they started to provide services like food, health programs, social programs, educational programs. Even at the beginning, like early 50s, they had schools in tents. And most people live in tents for many years. This agency then discovered that we will stay long, so they started to replace tents with shabby houses, just mud walls and metal roof.